Waka waka waka, Pac-Man fans. Welcome to Sonic Weekly. Pac-Man has arrived in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Beep beep, that's the new top story of 2026. Whoa, what's going on? Sonic Weekly, the show about Sonic the Hedgehog, every 7 days or so. I am Grant, and with me is Bo. Hi, Bo.
Speed me up. I am happy to be talking about Sonic and Pac-Man with friends today.
And the star of our show is stepping out of the shadows and into the spotlight. It's David the Lurker. Hello, David.
Whoa, hi Grant, hi Bo. That's right. This is our first show of, well, the first show we've recorded in the new year. Oh yeah. I'm excited. The ball dropped, the fireworks exploded, and now we're here, and we're gonna roll ourselves into a ball all through 2026, just like Sonic the Hedgehog.
And we're gonna eat pellets, and we're gonna chase away our ghosts, and we might have to climb some towers, and we might have to go super to defeat some titans. But I think I might be confusing the overall plot of Sonic Frontiers with that of Pac-Man. But that's because Pac-Man is top of mind. I was just playing the newly arrived DLC in Cross Worlds. Did either of you guys get a chance to try it? It came out like an hour before we got together to record.
That's a no for me, although I did have an enjoyable Pac-Man experience over the holiday break.
Whoa.
I went to the local-ish retro arcade, which is attached to a soda museum. So it's a museum, and it's centered around soda, like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. They have memorabilia about soda. But in the basement, there's an arcade. You pay $15 to get in, and then all the machines are free to play. And they're all very old machines. Like the newest one I saw was 2004, maybe. And the oldest ones were some electromechanical pinball machines. Really, really retro stuff. Not in the best shape. You know, the CRT monitors have seen better days. Some of the joysticks a little broken, but, the vibe was right.
Authentically vintage.
Yeah, some nice machines. Some Pengo from Sega. Some Afterburner. That was my favorite.
Nice.
But, there's a row of Pac-Man machines there. There's the original. There's Ms. Pac-Man, of course. And there's Super Pac-Man. Not one you see very often.
No.
And a Baby Pac-Man, which I think is the one with is a hybrid arcade machine / pinball machine.
Yeah.
Sort of like drop down and then play pinball and then back to it.
Wow.
So we played them all.
I've never seen that in the wild. So that's pretty exciting. He's just sitting there.
Anybody can play it. Don't
That's
even need
fun.
a quarter.
Did you play it? How'd you do?
I sure did. It was hard to actually get to the pinball part. Like, you think I'm going to experience both modalities in a short order, but no, you got to do some work. I like Super Pac-Man, though. You got to keys and open doors, and the ghosts move differently.
I believe it was Ms. Pac-Man that was on the arcade that was at my parents' diner, where they owned and operated for 10 years during my youth. And there was an arcade, and I think it was Ms. Pac-Man and not standard order regular Pac-Man. I'm thinking also having gone to like Dave & Buster's at some point in the past 10 years, and there was like a big Pac-Mania. It wasn't called Pac-Mania, that's a different game. But it was like 4 to 8 player Pac-Man for a Dave & Buster's type experience. And I'm just wondering, like, how many different versions of Pac-Man we've all played.
There are a lot. There's a lot.
There's got to be a ton, right?
Right. The one you're talking about is Battle Royale, which I think...
Is that the one that's like a wall-sized with the lights?
It's huge. It's, 4 player, 4 Pac-Man. Well, sometimes it's 8. The only home ports that have existed stop at 4. So if you ever play 8 player, you're in an elite group of Pac-maniacs. Yeah, I like Pac-Man. I've always had an affinity towards Pac-Man. Once upon a time, there was a guy who tried to get me to move in with him, and he was like, "Oh, if you move in with me, I'll buy a Pac-Man machine." But he was trying to bribe me. He wasn't some random man. It was a friend of mine. We were the same age. I guess I should also point that out. But he lived in a different state, so it was like internet.
I need a roommate, but I can afford this Pac-Man machine if if it makes that happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I've played a lot of Pac-Man. I've played a lot of Championship Edition and DX and.
I think this must have been the tail end of the 80s because number one, you could bring a child into a bar, and
can't do that anymore.
I don't think you can do that. And my dear grandmother worked in said bar, and I think just had us playing Pac-Man in the corner of the bar.
Yeah.
And I was, 4 or 5 at most, and playing that all evening.
Yeah.
It was a grand old time.
I definitely was like 7 or some young age. I don't think maybe as young as, but I remember going to like VFW halls, and there weren't video games, but that's where the Game Gear came in handy. And I got really familiar with Sonic Chaos and Sonic Drift 2. And I think I had Miss Pac-Man on Game Gear.
No.
There's definitely Pac-Man on the Game Gear. I can't think of Ms. Pac-Man, but
maybe it's not Ms. Pac-Man.
They're pretty similar.
Right. I had Pac Attack on the Game Gear. I had Miss Pac-Man on the Sega Genesis. There were some wild modes in that. Trying to think if Miss Pac. It feels like there had to be. Yeah, Miss Pac-Man was on the Game Gear, so it could have been.
Okay. I was gonna say I thought I remembered the box art being Miss Pac-Man, but
was that a Craig Martin?
I don't know if it was Greg Martin. I don't think so.
Did I say Craig? I meant to say Greg. If I said Greg, I meant Greg.
I wasn't sure.
It's got some lips. Like they're very prominent in the image.
She's got legs on the one in the arcade I visited.
Fellas, her giant mouth is up here. Eyes on.
Sure. Look, I think everyone had a crush on Miss Pac-Man at some point, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the bow.
What?
The bow on her head, not the bow of our friends, not bow of Rings of Saturn.
Right. But I guess I say all of that just to say no, I haven't played Pac-Man in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. So,
well, I have, and I'll tell you what.
Right.
Oh,
how is
you've
it?
got impressions. Good.
I've got some impressions for you. I'll give you hot off the fingers. Just finished playing with the controllers. The new track. It comes with a new track. It comes with also the playable characters of Pac-Man and the Ghost. And the Ghost can be 4 characters. It's, I think, Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. And they're fun. When they do tricks, in the air, they make sound effects that are recognizable from the classic
so they're
arcade.
Almost voiced.
Exactly. So it does feel like they're almost voiced. And, of course, this track completes what is called the Crossover 1 Grand Prix, with the Minecraft and the SpongeBob being the first 2 tracks. So now you actually get the final proper track where it's the 3 tracks, those 2 plus Pac-Man as the 4th final track. The game remains challenging because I played it as Sonic, my main, on a new hovercraft, and then played also as a Ghost in the Burgermobile. Didn't yet play in the new car, which is, I think you can unlock the new Pac-Mobile, whatever it's called. The game is challenging. It's not as hard as Transformed, but I wasn't easily coming in first on. I mean, I haven't been away from. I've put in 40 or more hours of the game, so I think I'm better at it than the game is like. No, you're not actually that good at it. Because it's like if you just play for a while, it continues to reward you, especially if you play online, right? So it'll like rank you up to like I'm an A+ rank, but can't reliably come in first in the Supersonic Speed on Grand Prix against Big the Cat as my rival.
Oh, well, it's because it's big. You can't defeat him. He's too powerful.
He's a gracious winner, thankfully.
I feel like that's the trick of every great racing game, right? You can put in 100 hours and then you find out you actually don't understand it at all.
Yeah, it's fun. One thing that I wish for, though, is the ability to have 2 players on the same device locally go online together, which is something that's been a Mario Kart feature for a while, but is absent from Crossworlds, and it should be there. You should be able to have 2 characters together go online in a Grand Prix. You can sync up. We can sync up. The 3 of us can sync up 1 player per console, device, whatever. But if we're in the same location, can't bring along a partner, a friend.
Yeah, you got to have another console. It's effectively a LAN party.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of partying, is there any other fun news, David?
Fun news.
I think
I
that's
don't know.
the top of story of the day, right? And we'll await and look forward to your impressions as well.
Right. I mean, fun news. Here's there's a couple small news stories like, whoa, there's going to be a Tikal action figure. That's kind of fun.
That is kind of fun.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Part of the next wave of Jack specific Sonic the Hedgehog, the 35th anniversary range. It's Tikal. She's got a Master Emerald. You can put her next to Chaos, which I think also had a Master Emerald. So now you'll have two. What do you do with that? I don't know. But it looks good. Not much more to say than that. Oh, yeah. And Sonic Rumble had a bedtime Eggman skin, which is the Eggman concept art. So that's kind of neat. I mean, for the three people who listen and still play Sonic Rumble, you can buy it with money, actual money, or red rings that you buy with actual money.
And this is in Sonic Rumble.
Yeah.
Only in Sonic Rumble.
It's only in Sonic Rumble, along with a tail skin where he has a hat and it says 2026.
Okay.
But I think the Pajamas Eggman, though, is a good sign. There's somebody on the inside who's one of us who knows all the real deep cuts, and they're slipping them in there.
They're no longer deep cuts. They're now just front page news. Tikal is not an obscure character if she's, a featured action figure in the 35th anniversary. And
yeah.
Hey, but what is obscure and pointless and bizarre is a story that Bo and I were just talking about right before we started recording.
Yes.
And Bo, if you feel up to it, I think you could introduce the story.
Yeah, could you prompt me on what story we're talking about?
Oh yeah, the Knights logo.
Oh, the Knights logo. Yes, the designer of the Knights into Dreams logo. This is Hoshino, the artist there. He put out a tweet on the internet, and he says there's a bit of trivia that in the Knights logo, the I is lowercase because it represents the love that is starting to bloom between Elliot and Claris. So the little red pendant above the I guess, is to represent their love. And there you go. Nights into Dreams, capitalization, lore confirmed.
That's why it's always, formatted the way it is with capital Knights with the lowercase I. The lowercase I stands for the love that apparently is there between Elliot and Claris. A love that I call into question. I think the Archie comics I remember, and then it was proven to me in the Discord, they become like boyfriend and girlfriend. But in the game, it's about their self-confidence. It's about them, finding the empowerment within their hearts to go sing at the audition or play basketball with your friends.
Well, so this is where I get to be Burning Rangers museum curator here. Yeah. It's established in the Burning Rangers emails that Elliot is Claris's boyfriend, and she only has one ticket to give to her show, and she's going to give it to him and not to you who rescued her. Huh. So,
is Elliot explicitly named the boyfriend, or is it just that she has a boyfriend and we're implying that Elliot is the boyfriend?
Ooh, touche.
I just reviewed your blog. That's why it's fresh on my mind. Because that's the loophole, is that she does say she has a boyfriend that she's saving the ticket for and describes someone special. And then Elliot also describes someone special. So they're both talking about Knights. And then she also has a boyfriend.
Could be Claris's boyfriend. That is an open interpretation.
That's not what I'm saying, but maybe.
Is that a polycue?
Well, they became the same entity temporarily. Right. And then they split apart, and it's
Knights is still an individual entity.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Knights got split into two, though.
Right. Knights merged with both of them. Now, what happens in the sequel, Journey of Dreams? Because the I is still lowercase, but we're no longer talking about Claris and or Elliot.
They do appear, and no one knows what happens in Journey of Dreams because no one has finished Journey of Dreams.
No, they just you start the game by touching Knights, and then after that, it's all a blur, I think.
Yeah. I have always said the third Knights game should start where, like, it's a dream sequence, you're walking through, and then the owl, it has, like, a spear impaled through him, and it's just a sign, like, okay, we're not doing that again.
Wow. It's pretty intense. The one last bit of news, we'll touch on it very briefly because it's not really Sonic related, but it is Sega related. I just wanted to mention that this past Christmas, 2025, David Rosen passed away. Now, that name might not mean much to the people who are listening, but David Rosen is one of the fathers of Sega Enterprises as we know it. He lived in Japan. He had started his own company called Rosen Enterprises. It was the one that had all these photo booths. He briefly got in trouble with the Yakuza because he didn't tell anyone, because he didn't realize, being an American, that he had to...
Right. He's an American. He's in post-war Japan. He's just banging around.
Yeah. And so because of the Korean War, I guess there's a bit more, there's a military presence. There's a bit more fluid cash. He starts up his company. It's doing well. And what ends up happening is Rosen merges with Nihon Goraku Busan, probably mispronounced it. And those two companies merge together. And in 1965, we get Sega Enterprises Limited, which is now called Sega Corporation. And he was with Sega all the way through until, 1996. He was president of Sega of America for a while. He was there. He was running it when Sega was owned by Gulf and Western back in the day. He was, he's a businessman. He's one we don't think about because we think about Tom Kalinske
and Stoller,
right.
Yeah.
Yes, but even though he wasn't the face of it, he was still there. He was still involved. I guess he was the one that suggested the guy who was there before Kalinske, whose name now escapes me. The one who was it Michael Katz? The guy who was like, Sonic bad, but it was Rosen who got him the job, and like he was there, and he was co-president until. Right, he decided to step away at the same time Tom Kalinske and Hayao Nakayama stepped away. So that was sort of an end of an era right there. But he kept his eye. I guess he was still involved somewhat until the Dreamcast died. But then he just retired, lived his life in L.A. and he was how old? 95.
He was 95 years old. Yeah, lived to a ripe old age. What a good run.
Yeah,
what a good legacy to leave.
Yeah,
Went out for David Rosen.
Yeah.
And speaking of 95, let's think about the year 1995 and check in with Bo and Rings of Saturn.
Rings of Saturn.
All right, I've got two for you this week on the Rings of Saturn. On the Saturn home planet, taking a look at Yuna Remix. This is one of the Hudson Soft franchises. I only knew about Yuna, who's one of these magical girls, kind of like a Sailor Moon character, because she makes a cameo appearance in Saturn Bomberman, one of the best Saturn games. But she had a couple of games of her own on the Saturn and on other consoles, including this one, Yuna Remix. And like some other Hudson Soft titles, mostly for the Saturn, but also some N64s in there, if you had a special Hudson controller, there's a little switch you can turn on there, and on some of their games, it will enable extra features. And this fact about Yuna Remix, never known to the English-speaking world, but it's on the Japanese Wikipedia. But if you hit the little switch on your Hudson controller, you get a special little bonus mode. So I made a patch. If you've got this game without the Hudson controller, which has Bomberman's face on it, you can now use this patch to access that mode. Nice little convenience feature. But what's new is also this low-level debug mode where you can do sort of jump anywhere into the visual novel. You can play any of the battles. You can do all the sound tests, all the movie tests, all the image tests. I think there's probably some unused stuff in there, but I'm not myself steeped in the Yuna franchise enough to recognize it. But if you are, get in touch. I've got the tools for you. So that's Hudson Soft Saturn news for you right there. And then if we fast forward a little bit out of the 90s and into the 2000s, I got really interested in the UK developer / publisher Codemasters. And these guys did a bunch of games, some racing games, some soccer games, some other stuff, mostly in the PlayStation, Xbox kind of land. And these guys, they were not free with their cheat codes. Their name's Codemasters. You would think, oh, these guys like codes a lot or whatever. But no, they wanted you to call their toll hotline
Oh.
and read them a number that was on your console. And then they would give you codes for their game that would only work for you, only for your number. And this charged, $1.99 per minute on the 1-900 line in the US and £1.27 in the UK. So not cheap to get these things, and you couldn't share them. But that hotline is gone. So are these codes lost? Well, no, I found that you can reverse engineer their generation algorithm in a couple of the soccer games and get them all there. So that worked for the 2003, 2004, 2005 ones. So they just had some little scrambling thing going on, not difficult. A child could figure it out if they had it in front of them. But they really took things up a notch in 2006. They upgraded to an RSA public key security scheme. And had they done this properly, this would be impossible to break. Like, the military does not have better crypto technology than this. But they screwed up big time.
Oh, yeah.
They chose a key that's only 64 bits. And because it's only 64 bits, you can break it into prime factors. And you can derive the private part of the key that they should have kept secret and generate those codes yourself. So I did all the math. I've got all the codes. You can play them all on your soccer sim on your UK PlayStation, and you no longer have to call into the non-existent hotline.
Wow.
So is that hotline, is that the original pay-to-win scheme?
It's
right
kind
there?
of, it's kind of a pay-to-win scheme. Although I think they were a little bit lazy with it. So, like, one of these codes is supposed to be like, when your soccer players kick the ball, it leaves like a rainbow trail in the air. Like, you can see where the ball goes. Like, kind of a lame code.
You had to pay for that one?
Pay to get that. Yeah. But also, it doesn't really work. Like, you do it and it's like the lamest effect. So I don't know if their hearts were really in this. Maybe they made the math easy as a way of sabotaging their own corporate greed.
What were some of the interesting codes?
One of them changes the physics of the ball, like it's on the moon, so you kick it and it goes flying. A couple of them alter the weather. One of them makes the announcers sound like they've inhaled helium.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No longer sensible soccer.
No.
Just silly, crazy.
Silliest soccer, yeah.
The silliest soccer.
That's amazing. Fascinating. Thank you, Bo. Let's also now check in with our friend Barry at Sega Bits. What are they talking about on Sega Talk this week? Barry.
Hey Sonic Weekly listeners, Barry from Sega Bits here to tell you what we've got going on at SegaBits.com. On the latest Sega Talk podcast, we're taking a look back at all the American box art templates that Sega created from the Master System all the way to the Dreamcast. And on the latest Sega News Bits Live, we look back at the life and legacy of David Rosen. Check it out at SegaBits.com or search Sega Bits on your podcatcher of choice.
Thank you, Barry. Okay, so this next part of the show, I'm excited to introduce our guest this week. We're meeting for the first time. I reached out because I came across one of his essays on YouTube about the Sonic CD soundtrack, and it was one of several videos he's made about the Sonic CD soundtrack, and this one was particularly about the US soundtrack and defending it, which I found compelling because usually people don't bother taking up that argument. But it's one that I happen to like because I also like the US soundtrack. And then started watching some of his other videos and was like, oh, this is great. Would love to talk to this person. So here we go. ScrewStache. Hi, ScrewStache.
Yo, what's up? What's going on, y'all?
What's up? Hello. Thanks for making the time. One thing that I didn't mention yet is that you're a musician and producer in your own right, and you have made several Sonic beats that are great. We were just talking about.
Yes, sir.
From Sonic CD, Sonic the Fighters, Sonic Colors, a number of them. So I guess the first question that we usually ask everybody just to get to know each other is, how did you first get into Sonic at all?
Well, I first got into Sonic through the PlayStation 2 version of Sonic Unleashed. I was gifted a PlayStation 2 when I was like very young, around 5 or 6 years old. And one of those games was Sonic Unleashed, and I just love that game so much. A couple years later, family got a home computer, and I found myself watching the YouTuber Kobanomani456, and all he did was play Sonic. So that was like my introduction to Sonic, and then started playing like the Flash games, the old Flash games online when Adobe Flash was around. Then I got into emulating, playing the old classic games, and I took a liking to the music. Like I just love the music, so that was like my introduction.
Yeah, and the music to Sonic CD in particular, right?
Yeah, CD was one of those games that I emulated because of the opening, the animation. Like it caught my eye, and I was like, "Holy crap! I need to play this game." And that combined with Sonic Boom, because I first heard Sonic Boom, I was introduced to the US soundtrack first. So hearing that and seeing the animation, I was like, yes, I have to play this game. And that animation like changed my life. Yeah.
Hooked a lot of people, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think it was definitely like an inciting point for anybody who becomes like a long time Sonic fan. At some point they're like, and then the Sonic CD intro changed my life.
Yeah, it's a canon event for all real Sonic fans.
Yeah.
No matter your age.
Yeah. I liked your videos too, where you were, what your favorite Sonic soundtrack says about you. And
I remember those videos. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's funny. It's also like, these videos are like older. They came into my YouTube algorithm and it's like, oh, these are like 2 years old. Like, I don't know how, have you been thinking about Sonic in any way more recently? Or
I'm going to be honest, not really. I kind of, I kind of just got caught up in my own world doing the music stuff, but I don't really keep up with Sonic that much anymore. But it makes me smile. It puts a huge smile on my face to see that those opinions that I had about the franchise, just a few years ago, and even maybe 3 to 5 years ago, still hold weight and people listen to them.
Yeah. Have you been, like, video game wise, you had some videos about Mario as well that were funny.
Oh, yeah.
But what's like the last Sonic thing that you remember getting into? Was it Sonic Mania did you get into, or Frontiers?
I did get into Frontiers. I never played Frontiers. But I did like listen to his soundtrack, and I did do a soundtrack review on Frontiers. I feel like I didn't do a detailed enough review. I feel like I should play the game. Crazy enough, I still haven't played Sonic Frontiers yet, and apparently it's supposed to be like the best 3D Sonic game as far as right now. It's crazy. I haven't played it yet, but I listened to the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. But
there's a lot of soundtrack too. What is it? 6 discs on the official release,
and then the Last Horizon,
and then
or the final
right,
Horizon.
and then more.
It was more.
Huge soundtrack.
And there's like 3 different soundtracks going on, because it's like there's the orchestral tracks for the islands, and there's 4 of those, or 5, I guess. And then you've got the cyberspace, which is a different style, and then also the Titan supersonic fights, which is a 3rd style.
Honestly, it was just 3 musical styles blended to create one huge masterpiece. I've been listening to it. I still listen to Sonic music, and here and there, I listen to Sonic music more than any type of music, honestly. And Frontiers it's up there on my playlist. And those cyberspace tracks, those are my favorite group of tracks. I love those cyberspace tracks, but I feel like I was sleeping on Frontiers soundtrack for a minute. I'm kind of mad at myself for doing that, but I'm.
Yeah, so the music is kind of like the main thing that's like keeping you sort of loosely attached to like Sonic as a franchise, I guess.
Oh yeah, Sonic will always have like a special place in my heart. I've always used like the game's music to judge the game, so it's like if music isn't like really catching my ear, I'm not gonna play the Sonic game. That's why I love Mania. Sonic Mania, the music on Mania is amazing. The music in Colors is amazing. Those, I'm like kind of listing off some of my favorites. Like, it's always been the music for me.
Yeah, let's let's go through like a top 5, I guess, of like
Top 5.
Yeah. I guess you're sort of boxed into 3, the 2 you just named in Frontiers, but maybe not.
Okay. No specific order, top 5. I would say Sonic CD Japanese soundtrack, Sonic CD US soundtrack, both in there. You're not gonna include those.
Mm-hmm.
Colors has an amazing soundtrack. I know I mentioned those, but Unleashed has an amazing soundtrack as well. And for my 5th and final one, I would say 3 and Knuckles, Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Okay. Yeah. If Frontiers doesn't make the cut, not maybe it's number 6.
Yeah, Frontiers would definitely be 6 for me.
Yeah. I appreciate that the Japanese soundtrack for Sonic CD and the US soundtrack take up 2 distinct slots, but Sonic 3 and Knuckles only takes up 1 spot, even though, of course, it's 2 games, which is...
But you can combine it into 1 game.
You can combine it into 1 super game, that's true. But Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles musically also like have some differences, especially now in like, I don't know if you've played Sonic Origins or like have followed that story of like how they replaced 3 of the Sonic 3 tracks in Sonic Origins.
I haven't played the game, but I did hear about that news. I did a lot of research on those 2 game soundtracks back in the day, but funny enough, I don't remember much that I learned. I know Michael Jackson and his team had something to do with it. They were involved in one way or another. And I guess Michael didn't get directly credited because he didn't want to be he didn't like the way the Genesis sound chip sounded or something. I'm not really sure on that. I think it's a shame. I love the soundtrack.
A couple stories you can choose to play. One is Sega got cold feet due to the Michael Jackson scandals.
Yeah.
Another story is Michael didn't really have anything to do with it. He just pawned it off on his producers.
I would like to believe the second one.
Yeah, I
that
think
he just pawned it off on his producers.
Right. Well, right, because
there's the interviews with Brad.
Oh
Buxer,
yeah. There's a few different interviews out there. Yeah, like with I'm gonna say Brad Bird. No, Brad Buxer, and there's also a book that was published in Japan. It was Michael Jackson's translator. So whenever he would go and visit Sega of Japan, she would be there with him to
interpret for him.
Yeah, interpret for him, right? And so like it seemed at first he was really into it, and he was in the studio, and he was doing the like he was helping to write, but then at some point he just got bored with it. It sounded like, and kind of was like, okay, all you guys can finish it, and then
that sounds like something Michael would do. That definitely sounds like something Michael Jackson would pull.
Yeah.
In my headcanon, he beatboxed into a little tape recorder, handed it off to Buxer, and said, "All right, see you later."
Right, do something with this.
So it seems, okay, it's starting to come back to me from all that research. It seems that like they really took care of the Sonic 3 portion of that game. I remember the Sonic and Knuckles portion of that game. That's when I don't know if Jun Sanoi came in yet, but I know a guy named Howard Drawson did a lot of my favorite tracks. And I don't see a lot of people talking about him. Dang, y'all make me want to make a video about that now.
You absolutely should. I love the Drawson tracks.
I love Drawson's tracks. And then his work in 3D Blast, him and Sanoi. Oh, man. Oh, you guys are igniting a fire in me.
I love it. I think, he's got one of the best Sonic soundtracks or Sonic tracks of all time, which is Toxic Caves from Sonic Spindle.
Yeah.
Like that bass line.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. In the 90s, he did release a Sonic album. It's called Virtual Sonic, which is it's some from the games and some that he just wrote and they never used.
Severely underrated composer, in my opinion. Like, I actually had to like do some deep diving to figure out who this guy was. That's a shame.
Every track in Sonic and Knuckles musically I really like, I find when I replay the game. And the Sonic 3 missing tracks from Origins that have been replaced makes me realize how important those were to the feel. Like Ice Cap just doesn't feel the same. Launch Base just does not feel the same at all. And same for Carnival Night. It's just like half of the game is sort of missing. But the Sonic and Knuckles, like Mushroom Hill, Flying Battery, Sandopolis, Lava Reef, Hidden Palace, Sky Sanctuary, Death Egg, all of those, Doomsday, for just listing all the levels in Sonic and Knuckles, but
Great
all of
memory.
them are top tier.
Yeah.
And David, okay, so same question, same prompt, top 5.
Oh God, what? What
Yeah,
are you
I mean, it's only. I similarly have to produce a list, I suppose.
I'm bad at choosing and making a list, because it's all good, right? It's all
Right.
Oh God, I mean, okay, in no particular order. I mean, Japanese CD. I got to go with Sonic Adventure. Yeah, you know what? I'll go with Unleashed. The original Sonic. Dreams come true. You can't say no. And doo doo ba doo ba da. I'll say Sonic R. I'll throw everyone off. No, but it's
Ooh,
probably
wow.
That's going to make a lot of people happy.
yeah.
Real quick, here you go. Sonic Adventure, Sonic Generations, Sonic CD, Japanese, Sonic CD, US, and Sonic Frontiers. Top 5.
Okay.
Ooh. All right, I'm going to do that thing with the top 5 where you do some safe ones and then throw in a recent one to make it seem like you're really relevant. So,
Perfect.
CD US, CD Japan, Colors, Frontiers, and Rumble.
Rumble.
Whoa, Rumble.
Whoa.
Yeah, I haven't had any time to experience it. Like, I don't know. I guess it's YouTube is where I got to listen to it, right?
It goes really hard, as the kids would say. And it probably leans a little bit too hard on the killer sax solo. But man, the sax solos are killer.
How are you listening to it, though? Is it on YouTube? Like, where do I...
The great thing about YouTube is the community playlists. And I don't know if I've got an official one or just one somebody made. But
Okay.
Right, because I don't think they've officially released the songs
They might
anywhere,
not have,
so...
honorable mentions to so many others. But another recent one is Crossworlds. I think that soundtrack is here to stay in my rotation for sure.
Honorable mention also Sonic Adventure 2. I feel like is just full of very iconic Sonic songs.
For sure.
So I'm going to do the heel thing here and say there's a lot of wheat in Sonic Adventure 2's soundtrack, but if you listen to the full thing, there's a lot of chaff too. There's a lot of skips on that one.
If we're doing honorable mentions, I would say Sonic Runners.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Runners
the answer, actually.
Runners had an amazing soundtrack.
Runners is great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's like a dark horse because you're not expecting a mobile game to be that good when it comes to the music. But
who's the composer on that one? Is it
Otani?
I'm pretty sure I think that's Tomoe Otani.
It's Otani.
It's probably Otani.
Yeah,
Okay.
Otani. Otani.
Makes sense.
Yeah, End of the Summer, a great song. Going My Way, Go Quickly.
They're all good. There's not a dud in there.
You're most definitely not wrong about Sonic Adventure 2, though. I feel like there's a lot of fluff in that soundtrack. Way more than Sonic Adventure 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Way
the
more
Eggman
skips.
stages, I guess.
Yeah.
Because which ones are the skips?
I would say a lot of Tails stages. There's only a few Tails stages that I actually like music-wise.
When's the
That's
last time
fair.
you put on the Route 103 track?
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, that one's pretty good, but
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, the Tails and the Eggman ones.
What's his sand level called? I remember that track being particularly annoying.
Yeah.
that level's annoying too.
Pyramid
Yeah.
Base, I think.
Yeah.
Cave.
Yeah.
Annoying
When it was-
music, annoying level.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the level taints your enjoyment of the song. Could
Oh,
happen.
man. That would have been the perfect transition to a Barry bit. Speaking of taints, let's check in with Barry at Sega Bits for the latest Sega Talk news. Also, there's a mailbag question that I've been putting off for about a month that I thought we could answer together as well. But yeah, because we all submitted top 5. We all agree the Sonic CD, both soundtracks are great.
Mhm.
David is the only one that didn't list both. That's okay. There's no need. There's no need to carry a grudge about it. You did list the Japanese version,
Right.
so that puts it over the top technically, which I think is fair, and I think that's right. It's the original soundtrack. It deserves to win in a decision, but it's still a close match. Okay, here's the question from the mailbag. Dear Sonic Weekly, guess what, Sonic Weekly? Love that. Here's a question for you guys to discuss if you like. For which Sonic game does your opinion vary the most from the common consensus, either positively or negatively? Love the podcast, fellas. And that's from Ellis. Thank you, Ellis.
I think ScrewStache wins. He's got positive feelings toward Wii Unleashed.
Yeah, I've played it recently, and I would definitely say that's just all nostalgia. That's most definitely nostalgia. But for an opinion that, like, I guess, hot take, if you will, I don't know. I really like Heroes. I think Heroes is a great game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Heroes.
It's definitely a hot take in certain circles, which I guess is what all hot takes are.
Yeah.
I know there are the diehards, but like I know for me, and I think for maybe all of us, Heroes was sort of a drop off. So it was like we were all in as kids in that original wave of Sonic, but then Heroes came out and we were like, oh, or I mean,
Right.
I was like, oh, I don't know if Sonic's for me anymore.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm an adult. But then you come back to it and you're like, well, actually, I have to love all of Sonic forever and
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
I can never stop loving Sonic. That sounds odd.
What's the best song on the Heroes soundtrack?
Oh,
For me, what's the second level? Ocean Palace?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that song.
That's a good one.
That is
Yeah.
really good.
Heroes does have a good soundtrack.
Banger
Yes, it
soundtrack for
does.
sure.
Yeah.
Frog Forest. Oh man.
Right.
Yeah.
What am I oh no, wait, what's the phrase? I was gonna say hidden pleasures. That's not right. Dirty pleasure? No.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked you finding all the different thesaurus.
What am I? God, it's okay. Yes, one of my guilty pleasures is the Team Rose theme song. Follow
Oh
Me.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like when I would work nights and I was driving home and like I'm passing out, I would have to put that song on and it would wake me up. Don't know why, but it would.
Interesting.
Yeah, something about it.
It's the one that feels the most like an introduction to a kids' TV show.
Well, the Chaotix theme song is in competition with it. Because that one like introduces each character too, of like Charmy, he's the bee, Espio, he's the detective. I forget the lyrics exactly, but it's something close to that.
Yeah.
I think the opinion that I diverge most from the common Sonic consensus is obvious answer is I kind of like 06. I like the soundtrack a lot. I like the ambition of it. I like a lot of things about it, while admitting that it's still absolutely broken. And you should definitely play it with a friend. You should not play it alone. If you play it alone, just don't do it. Just don't do it. You'll have a bad time, I think. But if you're sharing the experience somehow, in person or virtually, I think it becomes fun to laugh along with the game and then also laugh at the game, but also kind of enjoy it. Like it's pretty fun. It's not too broken outside of the snowboarding. If we take snowboarding off the table, then it's really just the load times and some other bits that are just janky, but nothing really egregious. It's overstated how bad it is, I think.
One day you'll be vindicated, but I don't know if that day is today.
What about who didn't go? Bo?
Oh,
I didn't go. I think I'm going to say Sonic 2 8-bit is underrated. It is my first Sonic game that I had, so nostalgia is doing a lot of the work here. But my stance is get good. You can get past that first level, and you can get all the Chaos Emeralds, and you can see not just Tails dying at the end, but Sonic and Tails dying at the end.
Is that a suicide pact? I never quite figure it out.
Can't beat the scrambled egg zone.
There's some good stuff in there. I like the Green Hills song, even though it really is just You Can Do Anything from CD.
Yes.
So it's, but there is it's that first boss. It's that first level. It really throws you off. If Underground Zone was like Zone 5, I think 50% of the hate would be gone for that game.
It would be gone. So many more batteries would be saved
Yeah.
in the history of usage of batteries.
Yeah. David, did you go or was yours the Team Rose thing?
Well, that's not really a No.
Yeah, it's not a
No.
guilty pleasure. That's not something you.
No,
The
I would
Verge.
say, yeah, my go-to Sonic Labyrinth on the Game Gear gets a bad rap. You can't treat it like a normal Sonic game. If you just treat it as a game that's not Sonic, it's fun. So I played it way too much as a kid, and I still enjoy it. It's not a Sonic game, but it's a video game. And if you want a video game that's quick on the Game Gear, you can beat it before the batteries die. It's that. So,
All right.
long live Labyrinth.
Okay, so let me ask you this: we all chose to defend a game, but the question can go either way. So, flip it. What's a game that's overrated that is maybe deserves more? So, for example, Sonic Adventure 2 is very beloved, but it's also kind of not terribly far away from Sonic 06 in terms of jankiness. There's some jank to Sonic Adventure 2.
There's for sure jank in Sonic Adventure 2. I think it is my pick for overrated, but I will not go as far as it's on par with jankiness of 06, or
Well,
even
not on-
with jankiness of Sonic Adventure the first.
Yeah. All right.
I would have to say that Generations is slightly overrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not really much replay value compared to other Sonic games.
Oh, you don't like bouncing the notes with Vector?
Yeah.
I mean, who
Second
does? Who does?
Is it like the boost in general, or is it just the way Generations does it, do you think? Makes you go, oh, well, it's fun.
It's very linear compared to Sonic Unleashed. You're literally just, pressing a button and going straight. That's it. Sometimes you have these 2D sections where you get the platform here and there. But other than that, it's too automated, and it just plays on, nostalgia. And I guess for the time when it came out, it was super cool. But now looking back on it, 10 years later, I'm like, yeah, this game is kind of weak, to be honest.
I think it's a fair take. I don't think the boost levels reach the highs that they do in Unleashed.
I mean, compared to Unleashed, you play the game once, you beat the game once. What else is there to do? Who wants to play those boring side missions compared to the ones in Unleashed? Where Unleashed, you have collectibles, so you can go back and get the sun medals and moon medals. That's what they're called, right? Yeah, all that other stuff. And then you have the DLCs, where the super hard levels and stuff like that. Like, there's just so much more replay value in other games compared to even Lost World has more replay value than Generations.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
I like Lost World more than Generations. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh,
Okay. Lost World is one I still haven't played really or gotten into. I have the means to play it.
I highly recommend it.
We got to do our big Lost World episode.
Yeah,
right. The big deep dive.
we do.
I only played Lost World for the first time during lockdown. That was my first experience. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down and finally do it.
Is that when it came out on PC?
I played it on PC. I think it had been out for a little bit, but I hadn't bothered with it until there was nothing else to do. And
that's got one of my Dark Horse favorite tracks to the Deadly Six theme. It's a ska song. It's great.
Yeah, that's right. Lost World is also the one that introduced us to the Deadly Six, to Savok and crew.
Right. And we all love them.
Yeah.
There's no one on the internet that's ever said a bad thing about Savok.
Not me.
No.
David, did you go?
Oh, no.
Do you have an overrated?
Right, the overrated? I don't know. I'll say it because I've only played it once and I've never gone back to it. So maybe it's not overrated. And maybe even now people are saying it was overrated.
Whoa, David. No need to be so vicious. You can...
All right, I was going to say, look, I've only played through Sonic Colors once, and I have not gone back to it since. I know, it's shocking, right? Look at that.
What?
I played it.
Wow.
I played it 3 days before Generations came out. I was like, oh, I haven't played this. Bought it, went through it, then went to Generations, and I've not gone back to it since.
See, the Match of Colors is all in the replay. Like,
yeah, I think maybe
revisiting the stages once you have the wisp powers, they're different stages.
Yeah. So I haven't
Gotta
given
get
it
the red rings.
Probably enough
Yeah.
of a fair shake. It's something that I want to go back to. So I get the feeling I might enjoy it more, but because I haven't gone back to it, maybe that's the one I'll say. But because otherwise, I mean, what else is there? I like.
I will be
Sonic.
honest. Sonic Colors, the soundtrack really carries it as far as replay value for me. Like, there's not really much to do gameplay wise, but the soundtrack is just too good for me to not boot up the game every once in a while.
All right,
Especially now that it's on PC. Oh man.
I think the problem for me with Colors is my main way that I've interacted with it has been the Switch version of Colors Ultimate. I also played it on Xbox, so I played it like at a 60 frames version of it. The point is that I played Ultimate, which has its own issues, and yeah, I'm also not a huge Colors fan. I tend to think it's a little overrated, but at the same time, I like it a lot. It could be its own. I don't know. I was gonna say there's a whole episode. Then I was like, maybe there's not. Maybe it's just the 3 sentences that we've said.
Right. It's like I just got to go back to it because what else is there? I'm not going to be like, oh well, secretly Sonic 2 is bad because it's not.
Right.
You're like, no, people have too high an opinion of Cosmo Fighter or
Oh,
Troll Power.
you're gonna be surprised. I hate Sonic 2. It's
Oh,
my
really?
least favorite. It's one of my least
Wow.
favorite Sonic games, and I'm being completely honest. Like, I'm not even saying this for shock value or nothing. I genuinely do not like Sonic 2, and this is from personal experience. I just don't like that game.
What about it?
Where's
don't
it
you
fall
like?
off? Is it like
Yeah.
right from the beginning, or
It's the special stages. I never managed to get supersonic in that game. Special stages are too difficult for me. The final bosses are too difficult for me. Like, I feel like that game is just like the game is too difficult.
it is a 90s game? Like
Maybe it's
no save.
it's a get good situation.
Yeah, no, but like in the 90s, you were expected to only finish a game like if you were off school early and like your brother was not bothering you and you got really lucky
Mhm.
and it was like this rare thing where you got past level 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
only had access to 2 games because you
Yeah.
weren't going to get a third one until Christmas, and even then, maybe you're just getting socks. Who knows?
I would say Sonic 2 in Sonic Origins is a pretty good way to experience it because the special stages now
Oh, we
look
get
a
the
little
retry.
cleaner, and you also get the retry. So like it's easier
Really?
to like figure it out.
Yeah, an
with
anniversary
the like
mode.
coin system in the anniversary
Yeah.
mode. Yeah, but
So instead of extra lives, you have infinite lives, and where there were extra lives, or you get 100 rings, you get a little coin, and it's also super easy to just get 1,000 of them. And
Yeah.
so if you lose at a special stage, you just do it again and again until you get it. It
That's
does
pretty cool.
alleviate some of that pressure.
I think it does really change your relationship to the special stages because you can get good at them. Like it's so hard to access them in the first place, especially in CD and Sonic 1,
Right.
that
Right.
once you could retry them and replay them, it made me appreciate them more.
Yeah.
same. Yeah, Sonic CD's special stages, because I was able to retry them, made me like the game. Okay, we all said an overrated. We all said an underrated. We all gave a top 5. I think legally we have, we've checked every sort of thing that a Sonic fan. But what do we have any final thoughts before we want to wrap up? ScrewStache, first of all, just thank you for giving this a go and for spending some time with us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, I
I think we'll have to have you back. You said like, oh, I haven't thought about Sonic for a while, but then you really pulled out like a lot of knowledge, and I appreciate that.
I get passionate when it comes to my blue friend. You know.
right. When
Brings it out
Sonic's
of
in
you.
the blood,
I get it.
you can't
Yeah.
get him out.
Oh yeah.
I could ask this real quick because I watched your CD videos, and in the Japanese one, you mentioned your favorite song, not just of that game, but of the entire franchise, which was Quartz Quadrant.
Great pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that still hold true to this day, or has
Oh,
something
yeah.
else usurped that song? Because I will say that
no,
is
nothing will ever top. Listen, I love that song so much that I've actually found the sources of the sounds that were used in that
Oh,
song.
wow.
Like I literally spent like what $400 on a rack mount synthesizer because of that song.
Oh wow.
That's how much I love that song.
Wow. So wait, so it's present or one of
the present song.
Okay.
I literally just bought that rack mount synthesizer just so I can have those brass. The the brass parts. Literally, that's. Yeah, I love that song so much. In fact, after I get off here, I'm gonna go listen to it. Give it a go. Give it a little spin.
Right. No, I definitely agree with that. Is one of the great Sonic songs of all time.
I think underrated too. I don't hear people talk about it that much. They always talk about the past version or the good future version.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I feel like a lot of people either jump to the vocal tracks or they just focus on Stardust Speedway.
Yeah.
And they kind of, or maybe Palm Tree Panic if you're lucky. And like, oh yeah, I love the cheers. But I had a friend who asked me, what's your favorite song on that soundtrack? And I said the same thing to them. And they were extremely confused by me. They were like, oh, you mean like the other versions? And I was like, no, just
present.
Just, yeah.
The fast piano and like the sort of jaunty, I don't know, tempo.
The instrumentation is quite astounding. You know what I mean? Like the composition, the chord changes, the pianos, like scientifically, it's an amazing song. Like if we're going by music theory standards and things like that is a well-crafted, well-composed song.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I love is Metallic Madness too.
Metallic Madness is a great track. You talking about Present?
Present, yeah.
Oh yeah. Metallic Madness is a great track.
That one is like, we're nearing the end of the game. I'm in the groove here.
In the groove.
That's one where we were saying it about which one I already forget, but that it's kind of true of Sonic CD where like the levels are less memorable than I think the music associated with each level. Like Quartz Quadrant is a pretty fun level. It's, as far as the Sonic CD stages go, but I think, because they have like a more unique layout, but the music is so good that, yeah, great choice. Makes me like remember it more and appreciate it more.
Honestly, if you're not, going for those machines to destroy or going for the time stones, you can get through those levels pretty quickly. I think that's like a disadvantage, to Sonic CD. Quartz Quadrant, especially, I remember just zooming straight through that level when I didn't care about, 100%ing the game. It's like, wow, I only heard like the first 30 seconds of this track,
Yeah. You can tell they went, okay, we have Sonic 1 as a blueprint. Let's go wilder with exploration, as opposed to what Yasuhara would later do with 2 and 3 and K, I guess is like that's the pinnacle of the exploratory
vision,
of like what is a Sonic level. But right, you just have to treat CD a little bit different. Like it's meant to be explored.
Right.
Yeah, you have to slow down, honestly.
Yeah. But it's fun that there's like different ways to like play it. Sonic 2 is kind of the same way where like Supersonic is pretty optional. It doesn't really like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you kind of canonically need to do the special stages to get the last final stage of Doomsday.
Right.
But CD and, it doesn't really like you're going to throw the stone at Robotnik, at Eggman at the end of Sonic CD either way.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, they want you to go through those levels fast because there's a time attack mode. It's the only original Sonic game that has a time attack mode. So,
Really?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Sonic
like
CD?
the classic games. It's just CD.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess you have it in Adventure. It's the next appearance.
Right.
I never thought about that. I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah. I guess it's because it was the CD. They wanted it to seem fancy. I mean, who knows?
I do think it's kind of a design flaw, though, because if you try to load your save, you just come back to Metallic Madness 2 after you've cleared it.
Yeah.
Or Metallic Madness 3 even.
Right.
But time attack is how you revisit a level.
Yeah. No, the original save system in CD, it's very limited because it's just a Sega CD. It doesn't even have, at least like with Sonic 3, you got the built-in. Oh, we can remember more stuff because it's on a card.
Imagine if Sonic CD had Act 2 music.
Oh man.
Like that would make that soundtrack humongous. It would be like what, 9 tracks? 9 tracks per stage or something like that? Yeah, that would be huge.
And even the US one reuses the
past
Japanese
soundtracks.
past ones, right?
Yeah. I mean, would all those songs even fit on a CD? You might have to put it on a...
Probably not. Yeah, you'd have to have Sonic CD Disc 2.
Compress them so much to where they just sound like they came off the Genesis.
They might be able to do it, but they would have to do it at the expense of the opening movie, and nobody wants.
Nobody
wants to make that trade.
Right.
See that 5 frame per second animation.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, David, I think it's time to play us off.
That's right. The music has started, and that means that we are winding down. The sun is setting. The lights are turning on. Oh, the city's coming to life because everyone's going to go out and have a grand old time. So are you, but you've already had a grand old time. Why? Because you reached the end of another episode of Sonic Weekly. That's right. Whoa-ho. And if you did have a grand time and you actually didn't hate it, now, hey, if you've enjoyed what you heard, and why wouldn't you, then we would love it if you would subscribe to this podcast using your podcatcher of choice, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or for the Android faithful, Podcast Addict. Give us a rating, give us a review, and whatever podcatcher you're using, we appreciate it. So does the magical algorithm. But if you reject all podcatchers, and I don't blame you if you do, we're also over on YouTube at Sonic-Weekly. That's right, you can like, comment, subscribe, and our voices are joined as always by gameplay footage recorded by friend of the show, Jack of Old Games. Whoa, hey, you want to reach out to the show? We have an email address, sonicweeklypodcast@gmail.com. Drop us a line, let us know what you're thinking, let us know what you'd like us to talk about. We do the mailbag section, and hey, it's the only way to get a link to our Discord server. Ask for it, we'll send it off, and soon enough you'll be talking to some like-minded Sonic the Hedgehog fans about many things up to and including Sonic T. Hedgehog. If you're able to, you can also support the show over on Ko-fi. That's right, you throw something in the tip jar, or for $5 a month, you can become one of our executive producers, just like PigDan, Pabsy, Sonikku, SavingThrows, Belgarion, Ratliker63, Dr. Hate PhD, Sertoo, and Butterbeerhawk. And as always, I am required by law to say that you're all exceptionally smart, talented, and we all think you're really keen. But if you're not able to, that's perfectly fine. We're just happy that you're here, and hey, tell your buddies, they're all welcome. Gonna thank Altsynth for the edit. Whoa! Gonna thank Smoovies for the Rings of Saturn jingle. Gonna thank once again ScrewStache for joining us. Thank you. Your contacts, links, all that in the description. Read the description if you don't read the description. That's everywhere. Doesn't matter what you're using. Podcatchers, YouTubes. If somebody just hands you an MP3 file on a USB, it might not be there, but then I don't know why.
I'll put it in the metadata.
Oh, okay.
Get those ID3 tags in there.
That's right. I don't know how often people are being sketchy getting their podcasts that way, but hey, and right. And thank you, Bo and Grant and Bo. Now, I try to think of something every episode at the end to thank you about, but sometimes
nothing comes to mind.
Yeah.
Hey, you're welcome, and big apologies to Barry. Once again,
we love you.
We're really
Barry.
going to be in the doghouse for this one.
Just for
sorry, Barry.
Keep throwing him under the bus. It's
it's all out of love, Barry. Barry, come back, Barry. All right, goodbye.